The things that we see in real life are really more hectic and more bizarre than fiction. Like sometimes when people complain about films and that this is so violent or whatever, you're like, oh my god, but real life is so much worse.
Sweet like world which I want to get like lost and not be found. And with real life, I feel like it's just way more hectic. Hi, this is Aashim Gulati.
Hi, this is Taha, Shah, Badussha.
Hey, this is Aditi Rao Hydari.
I'm Shubham, Kumar, Mehra.
And you're watching us on peepingmoon.com.
To be very honest, I think Shubham always has said this, but we have always tried to play it very real, very contemporary. जैसे आज के time पे जैसे बच्चे होते हैं, yes, maybe there was a physicality that might have been a little different, but that mostly comes by the costumes that you're wearing and you know the aura that you're acting in, you know, the whole setting. So that actually plays a big factor in the way you try and behave. But as far as emotional behavior and the take on scenes is concerned, I feel that it is the writing of it, the perspective of it by these international crew that we've had from across the globe, whether it be William, Simon, who are the writers. They brought a very new perspective to the Mughal Empire, brought a very new perspective to how Salim and Anarkali's relationship is. They brought something very new. I didn't even know Murad existed, to be very honest, and Danyal. But when I read the script and I understood the depth of Murad, and I understood, you know, Salim's desire of what he wants, or the plight of Danyal and Anarkali's, you know, how she's been subdued in many ways. So many things new to learn in this script, because what we have learned or what we have actually seen before has always been a golden outlook to the Mughal Empire. Right? We haven't seen the intricate details of the interpersonal relationships that one another share in the family itself. So playing that was definitely challenging, but it wasn't that we were trying to become different people. It was the casting. Like I said, Salim is perfect. She's so beautiful to play Anarkali, right? She's a great actress. I've worked with her otherwise, and I know that she's great, right? Danyal is a hard worker, comes late, but he's still a hard worker. I love him. He's my younger brother, right? But so I feel that they're all so apt for their characters, right? That it wasn't difficult. It wasn't a fake for me to behave with Salim as my brother, or with Aashim or Shubham, right? They are really brotherly, and I feel that camaraderie that we shared behind the screen really helped me, at least, to portray in front of the screen, you know. Even though in the show I might be against Salim because I want the Taj or I want my father's approval, but the connection that we shared, you know, if me and him, like right now as brothers, I think I want him to succeed, I want him to grow, you know, and be successful in his life, right? But I can also go to the dark side of myself where I feel like, oh no, I wanted Salim's role, I want to be the lead. You know, all these thoughts we all play with, right? And I think that I derive from all those things, and which then helps us portray it on screen. So no, it was not difficult, challenging, but these guys all made it very easy.
I think period dramas are very exciting because of the scale and the epicness of, you know, the expanse and the expansiveness of the stories and the characters that you're portraying. Very often, they are characters that you've heard of over time. History has been written and rewritten and spoken about all these people, so, you know, over time. But I feel that as actors, if one goes into it with that awe, it is possibly different from, I think, the way that we dealt with it. And the way that we dealt with it was also very much a product of the fact that our writers and our director and our DOP and basically the crew that shot this season was from various parts of the world. And I think for them, they were telling a human story. a story about a family, a story about a succession to the throne, a story about love, about betrayal, about palace intrigue, about, and emotions and layers and layers and layers of emotion. And because it's a show, you get that much more time to play everything out, explore it. And because it was such a diverse team, I think they were not awestruck by these people like we have, in history and in all our stories, and our parents and grandparents, and the way they have spoken about Mughal-E-Azam, or just Mughal history or whatever, our textbooks. Sometimes it can be larger than life, but somewhere we were allowed to, or we were given the space and freedom to treat these people like human beings with real problems, and what possibly differentiates it from just a regular urban story is the costume and where it's placed and the time and the language. But the humanness of it made it very relatable to us, and hopefully to everybody else, because it's a real love, it's a real betrayal, it's a real fight for the throne, it's a real hankering for your father's love, it's a real desire to be with the one you love. All these things are real emotions that we all deal with in our everyday, falling in love, heartbreak, all of it. So I think that's what really makes it super cool, and for me it made this experience very unique and exciting.
Yeah, I believe at the very center of all life that exists, there is adversity and complexity. Why I love this script is because it shows that older people are also just like children. They are flawed. They also have feelings. They also feel bad. They also feel ignored or rejected. Perhaps why, like, if I'm at the liberty of saying this, and Akbar wants Anarkali to know, as you guys have seen in the trailer, that wo unki hai. So he also feels that jealous or insecure. Or what I'm trying to say is that the very thing about this script is that it's about a boy who just wants nothing to do with the throne, Aashim Salim, who just basically wants to do his thing, music, art, and poetry. It's about a boy who feels that he's not born as the rightful heir, but he is actually the perfect guy for the throne because he knows everything very well. It's about a girl who has been engaged for 20 years and been put in a room just by herself, and how taxing that must be, And it's about another boy who's just not found himself, like who's just so lost in between the strong dynamics of his brothers that he just feels like he's not good enough. So that was the most beautiful thing about Taj when I read it on paper, that it had all of these people who were just like children. Didn't matter how old they were, where they came from, but they just had these desires.
To be very honest, I did sort of feel a little scared, because I felt like, because there's so much being said and shown, and there is a huge sort of responsibility, if I had to say, because like if you think about Mughals and the drama that's been shown before, the first thing that comes to your mind is Mughal-E-Azam and the kind of actors that have played the characters, Dilip Saab. It's a scary thought, because me being Salim and playing Salim, that was it's not like, okay, I don't feel like I have a responsibility, but I just want to make it real in today's time and age. I wanted to make Salim. I wanted to, like she said, just humanize him, and like Shubham has said, like Taha has said, it's just, by the end of the day, however big the opus is, eventually it is a family, and there will be drama, there will be love, there will be loss. So it's in the crux of it, it's just about that, and it's how each character deals with that. And on the script level, the way it's been written, I feel it's just fantastic how every character has been established and given its own room. And I don't think it's fair for you to say that Salim is the lead, because I never felt that. I felt like every character has been given their own space to perform, to feel, to nurture, to love, to hate. And I think it's just all come together and just been written so beautifully that there is room for everybody to just emote, you know. So on that level, it was, yes, I felt a little scared and nervous. But then as and when, I think the cast it's just so beautifully cast. I think everybody is just so fit for their own characters. It's Shubham's first show. I could never imagine him playing the way he's played Daniel. Taha so brutally and yet so vulnerably portrayed the character of Murad. Anarkali ke bare mein kya hi kahun? She's her frustration. She's just like there is beauty and there's longing, and the way she looks at things and the way it's done with a lot of love. And I feel like I just hope that it comes across on screen because we've given it all, and I really mean it. Like, we've spent so much time together, and I really feel like there is nothing more than we could give than we already have.
These guys especially
I've
were
earned a brother.
literally living this life
Yeah.
for so long.
Yeah. We were passing out in the same room, and I have to tell you this, that Aashim Gulati,
This one is a TMI.
whatever. But like he was sort of battling this very personal thing. I'm not allowed to say it. I'm sorry. Don't kill me. But like he was just so hands-on with everything. Like even when he was going, and I've taken permission so I can talk about it. So he was just so hands-on with everything. In terms of like a week before we started filming, I remember he used to read the script on his way back from horse riding and sword fighting, and just to sort of be around him, I didn't even know that he has like a thing where he does something to act, but he's so natural and he's so Salim in real life that it was just like flowing. It was like a breeze.
Wow, thanks.
Are you all getting tears?
Give me a kiss.
Just see this. See this emo gang.
Yeah, hey, yaar.
I love it. It's great. I meant that very genuinely. Look at them, yeah. I'm saying this so. I really think it's nice.
No, it's very sweet. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Shubham.
See,
All the time.
off screen
They're
she's a
smitten
bro.
with each other.
On screen she was fabulous.
Off screen, I'm a bro.
Yeah.
Who is not smitten on Aditi Rao Hydari? Right? She's the epitome of beauty. And every film or every project that she's ever been part of, she's always... Her performances is definitely great, and I'm telling that on a personal level since I have acted with her. But just as her screen presence, there is no doubt that you cannot not see her. You know what I mean? And I know so many people, whether it be back home or whether it even be now, who are upcoming or who are working in the industry, and they're all big fans of you. They think that you're gorgeous. So
Thank you.
tell everybody
जन्नत
else.
से 72 हूरे भी आ जाती जमीन पर तो इन जैसा कोई ना बना.
और ये कह रहे थे कि off screen she's a bro.
See, I'm talking Salim. I'm talking purely Salim.
You're not getting a kiss for this now, Daniel.
मैं पैसे दे दो, मैं
Alright,
पैसे दे दो.
everything you can't look at me for a kiss. Oh,
Real life is stranger than.
That we have to make everything
Seriously, you know?
I mean,
Things that we see in fiction, actually, the things that we see in real life are really more hectic and more bizarre than fiction. Like sometimes when people complain about films and that this is so violent or whatever, you're like, oh my god, but real life is so much worse.
Yeah.
no, but
I think I just love to get lost in fiction.
yeah.
It's my own like sweet like world which I want to get like lost and not be found. And with real life, I feel like it's just way more hectic. So I think like that's what like I feel like we hide behind our characters, and not hide actually. That's got a negative intonation. We actually take.
It's like a little wonderland.
Yeah, it's like a wonderland.
But you're
that we
also
like to
talking to four romantics.
yeah.
Was
Of
a
different
romantic,
kinds.
चलो at
different
least अभी
kinds.
तो कर लिया.
Well, the thing is that I feel that as far as fictional characters are concerned, as an actor or as a creative person, you have liberty to kind of explore and kind of put in things or explore things that might not be considered right? And I think it gives you the freedom of doing that. But as far as a real character is concerned, then the amount of research can be done the same, but as far as observing that person, hopefully if you're doing a biography of a certain individual, then you are completely in bed with them. You have to be completely naked. You have to let go of yourself, and you have to completely take on this other personality and kind of soak it inside yourself, which is not completely easy. I mean, the thing is that as a fictional character, you can make it real and still not fall into that caricature kind of a thing. But playing real, that fine line is very, very thin. You can just fall into and kind of make it into a caricature instead of just being that real character. So yes, it's definitely harder, but I mean,
I think
who
it's a
isn't
lot
up
of
for
fun.
challenges?
Yeah.
Just to like play different characters and be like different people and not be yourself. Because I think
I love it.
But this,
love
I
it.
don't think it can be looked at as a biopic, because of course, like a lot of them are real characters, but it's like we don't have any we don't
Yeah,
have
no
any
reference points, no videos,
it's
nothing to see
written
it.
stuff. So there is a lot left to the imagination also, which is why it's been shown in so many different ways by various people.
Yeah, that's why this
Yeah.
gives us the liberty to kind of explore.
Also, as actors, I think it's our job only to like, no matter even if it's fiction or whatever, but when we approach it, or I can talk about myself, when I approach it, I want it to be a real breathing human being. So there have to be like, so nothing is fiction actually when you think about it, because the way we invest ourselves into it is that we want to make this real. We want to make him human. We want to make him a flawed human. And it's not just that, okay, this is like this picture perfect fiction character. So even with romance, there is so much, with everything actually. So yeah, everything's real.
No, not at all.
Mughal-E-Azam was just the love story. This is a family drama.
Yeah, there's so much more than just
And Mughal-E-Azam
Akbar.
is epic. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, none of us
The
are
gold
even
standard.
going that.
Yeah, and I think that's
that
what differentiates
direction.
this our story with even from Mughal-E-Azam. I'm not comparing, but I'm just saying that it's not just about Anarkali and Salim and Akbar and their frustrations towards each other and how like he wanted. It's not that. It's just a family drama, which is it's a family that's at war with their own. And it's just like real people just
Yeah.
having real issues and
Yeah,
trying
and it's
to
an
find
evolution
solutions.
of a family. It's
Yeah.
like this love causes him to become a certain way. The father causes something. It's like everything
It's a
has
twisted tale.
And also, to be honest, I mean, Mughal-E-Azam almost took 15 years to completely be made and to release, So that is the kind of mind space to be in, that the kind of music that had created for that specific film, that shot of the mirrors where she was dancing and where they took that shot, which almost all the Hollywood directors have, I mean, the DOPs have said, how did this person, MF was, how did Asif, how did he do it? So the intricacies of Mughal-E-Azam is on a different scale altogether. And as far as Taj is concerned, like they said, it's a family drama. It's not completely a love story, but love is definitely throughout it, right? But it's overall it is the love and hate
It's divided
of-
by blood.
of a family. That's what it is.
Honestly, I think
based on your
yeah, but
mind.
honestly, I think what we have to remember is here is a bunch of people who have made a story, who are telling a story that they want to tell, and a lot of it is based in history, and some of it, of course, there's creative liberties that have been taken. And I think the nature of our work is such that we are in a creative field. So we draw inspiration from certain things, and then we
Make it our own.
give it wings, and that's what differentiates one piece of work from another piece of work. And it's also understanding of human emotions and interpreting characters and how they might be. Nothing is written in stone, especially for certain kinds of historical pieces, I feel, because there have been so many retellings of a lot of the stories that are told within this whole
Era.
And she
Era.
said this very beautiful thing in the morning. She said that if you were to tell someone a story, by the time it would reach the 10th person, the narrative would have changed, because everyone adds their own thing. And that's so true, because history is not something which is definitive. We can't watch it. We have only heard generation after generation. Now in 2022, 2023 is when we have reached Taj. The take was very different. The beats shown in Mughal-E-Azam were very different. So also that.
But it
And
it
100%
isn't-
people.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, go for it.
100% people might have issues with certain things, but I mean, I feel like it's.
I mean,
so you have to
there is
let
no
people's
truth.
imagination also,
There's no
Yeah.
truth, as there's no one truth. I mean, there is your story, there's my story,
And that makes
and
his
then-
story.
Exactly. And then there's the truth in the middle. You know, it's I guess it's all just divided, and this is again like a piece of writing which is a foreign perspective. You know, so I guess that is the most unique part of the script, is that we haven't visualized this. It's been visualized by some white guys, you know, who look at us and they're like, oh, all right, this seems like a good story. How can we make this darker? You know, and it's just simply that.